குட் ஈவினிங் guys. ஆக்சுவலாக இது கிளாஸ் வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும் 6:10க்கு வந்து கிளாஸ் வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கோம். ஏன்னா ஆடியன்ஸ்க்காக கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். அண்ட் இப்போ வந்து சின்னதாக ஒரு இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் மட்டும் கொடுத்துக்கிறேன். கொடுத்துக்கலாமா சார்?
Sure, Vignesh, please go ahead.
எஸ் சார், தேங்க்யூ சார். ஹலோ ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், குட் ஈவினிங் எவ்ரி ஒன். ஆக்சுவலாக மண்டே ஈவினிங் வந்து உங்கள் எல்லாரையும் மீட் பண்ணுறதை நினைச்சு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. ஏன்னா வாரத்தோட ஸ்டார்டிங்லேயே வந்து ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான ஒரு டாப்பிக்கை வந்து நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறோம். அண்ட் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்து ஒரு சின்ன இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் மட்டும் கொடுத்துக்க நினச்சிக்கிறேன். பிகாஸ் இதை பற்றி எல்லாருக்கும் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும் இங்கே இருக்க எல்லாருக்கும். பட் ஆனால் ஒரு வேளை இன்னைக்கு தான் நீங்கள் இந்த செஷன் வந்து புதுசாக அட்டன் பண்ணுறீங்க அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து இது யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக தான் சொல்கிறோம். ஆக்சுவலா இந்த செஷன் வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா இன்னைக்கு நாளைக்கு ஒரு நாள் மட்டும் நடக்கிற செஷன் கிடையாது. ஆக்சுவலா நாங்க வந்து ஒரு குரூப் ஆஃப் பீப்புள் சார், விச் மீன்ஸ் லெட்ஸ் டாக் லெட்ஸ் கனெக்ட் அப்படின்ற ஒரு குரூப் ஆஃப் பீப்புள்ஸ். நாங்கள் இங்க வந்து ஓப்பன் பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் வந்து நாங்கள் வந்து அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். விச் மீன்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு கண்டென்ட் வந்து கிளியரா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். அண்ட் அந்த கண்டென்ட்டை சொல்றதுக்கு நீங்க பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் தெரியாம வந்து வெயிட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருப்பீங்க. அதாவது போற பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ல பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா சில சில பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ல மணிஸ் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. அண்ட் சில பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ல கண்டிஷனே வச்சிருப்பாங்க, இதை இங்க வந்து நீங்க பேசணும்னா இவ்வளவு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க. பட் ஆனா நாங்க வந்து அந்த மாதிரிலாம் இல்லை. எங்களுக்கு வந்து எல்லாருமே எல்லாருக்குமே வந்து ஷேர் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது மட்டும்தான் எங்களோட மோட்டிவா இருந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. ஸோ அதனால எனக்கு இந்த டாபிக் தெரியும், எனக்கு இதை பேசணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு சின்ன இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் உங்களுக்கு இருந்தாலே போதும். உங்க இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்டுக்கு நாங்க வந்து ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் கொடுக்குறோம். ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து இன்னைக்கு இது ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்மா இருக்கு. ஸோ இங்க வந்து எப்படின்னா நம்ம சார் மாதிரி பெரிய ஆள்ல இருந்து நம்மள மாதிரி கத்துக்கிட்டு நினைக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து எல்லாருமே வந்து இன்டர் கனெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அதுதான் இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்மோட பிக்கெஸ்ட் அச்சீவ்மெண்ட். ஸோ ஆப்வியஸ்லி நம்ம இந்த செஷனை யூஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம சார் டைரக்டா நிறைய கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேட்கலாம். இந்த சார் நமக்கு அதை ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் பண்ணுவார். இந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு கனெக்ஷனை ஏற்படுத்துறது தான் வந்து நாங்கள் வந்து விஷ் பண்றோம். அண்ட் ஒருவேளை இந்த செஷன் வந்து நான் இது இல்லை இப்போதைக்கு செஷனை கண்டக்ட் பண்ற மாதிரி எதுவும் இல்லை. பட் ஆனால் எனக்கு இந்த செஷன்ல வந்து நிறைய டவுட் இருக்கு, டாபிக்ஸ்ல டவுட் இருக்குன்னு நீங்க இது பர்சனல் நினைச்சீங்க அப்படின்னா எங்க வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப் வந்து கமெண்ட் சாட்ல வந்து நாங்கள் கொடுக்குறோம். ஸோ அதுல நீங்க ஜாயின் ஆகிக்கிட்டு நீங்க இந்த மாதிரி எனக்கு இந்த டாபிக்ல செஷன் வேணும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க அந்த ஃபார்ம்ல ஃபில் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா நாங்களே அதுக்கான ஹோஸ்ட்டை கண்டுபிடிச்சு அந்த டாப்பிக்கை வந்து நாங்க எடுக்க வைப்போம். ஸோ ஆப்வியஸ்லி நீங்க வந்து செஷனை எடுக்கவும் செய்யலாம், அட் த சேம் டைம் செஷனை வந்து கவனிக்கவும் செய்யலாம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்மை கொடுக்கணும், ஒரு நெட்வொர்க்கை கிரியேட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக தான் இந்த செஷனை வந்து இந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்மே கிரியேட் பண்ணோம். அண்ட் குட் ஸோ பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் வந்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. 6:07 ஆகிட்டு இருக்கு. நம்ம 6:10க்கு வந்து செஷனை வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம். அதுக்கு முன்னாடி இன்னையோட செஷனோட ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி வந்து சின்னதாக சொல்ல ட்ரை பண்றேன். விச் மீன்ஸ் எனக்கு இந்த செஷன் வந்து பர்சனலா ரொம்ப 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 பிடிச்சிருந்தது. ஆக்சுவலா இந்த செஷனுக்கு வரலாம் அப்படின்றதே லாஸ்ட் செகண்ட் அந்த டாபிக்கை பார்த்தோன்னே குடுக்குன்னு ஓடி வந்துட்டேன். ஏன்னா அந்த லெவலுக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான ஒரு டாபிக் இனோவேஷன். விச் மீன்ஸ் நம்ம நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் எப்படி ஒரு விஷயத்த ஞாபகம் வச்சுப்போம், ஒருத்தரோட பேரை வச்சு ஞாபகம் வச்சுப்போம், ஊரை வச்சு ஞாபகம் வச்சுப்போம், இல்லைன்னா அவங்களோட ஸ்டாச்சூஸ் போட்டோஸ் இதெல்லாம் வச்சுதான் ஒருத்தரோட ஞாபகங்களே நம்ம வந்து வச்சுக்கிட்டு இருப்போம். ஆனா அப்படி இல்ல, உண்மையான ஒரு ஞாபகம்ன்றது இது எதுவுமே இல்லாமே இருக்கும். உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா, நம்ம எல்லாரோட வீட்லயுமே நிக்கோலஸ் டெஸ்லா இருக்காங்க, ஆல்பர்ட் ஐன்ஸ்டைன் இருக்காரு. அப்படின்னா அவரவங்க வந்து நம்ம வீட்டுல யாரும் இல்ல, பட் அவங்க கண்டுபிடிச்ச இனோவேஷன் அது எல்லாமே நம்ம வீட்டுல ஸ்ப்ரெட் ஆகிருக்கு. அதுதான் வந்து பவர் ஆஃப் இனோவேஷன். நம்ம கடவுளால கூட நம்மள வந்து இம்மோர்டலா மாற்ற முடியாது, ஆனா நம்ம இனோவேஷன் நம்மள இம்மோர்டலா மாத்திடும். அதுதான் பவர் ஆஃப் இனோவேஷன், பியூட்டி ஆஃப் இனோவேஷன். எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்ச ஒரு பர்சனலா எனக்கு ஆகணும், நம்மளை யாராவது ஒரு இனோவேட்டர்னு கூப்பிட மாட்டாங்களா அப்படின்ற ஒரு இதுல இருந்து எனக்கு இந்த டாபிக் ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்கு. அண்ட் என்ன மாதிரி உங்க எல்லாருக்கும் இந்த டாபிக் ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்கும் அப்படின்றத நினைக்கிறேன். அண்ட் சார்.
எஸ் விக்னேஷ்.
டைம் 6:09 ஆகுது சார். அண்ட் 6:10க்கு நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம். பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் வந்துகிட்டு இருப்பாங்க சார், இருக்கிறவங்க வச்சு நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம்.
ஷூர், நோ ப்ராப்ளம்.
தேங்க்யூ சார், தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ், செஷன் வந்து 6:10க்கு ஸ்டார்ட் ஆக போகுது. ஸோ இந்த செஷன் வந்து ரெக்கார்டிங்ல போய்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். அண்ட் அட் த சேம் டைம் வந்து இது நீங்க எல்லாரும் உங்க மைக்கை வந்து மியூட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா பேண்ட்வித் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லாம இருக்கும். ஸோ சார் சொல்ற கண்டென்ட் வந்து நமக்கு புரியும். ஸோ இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு ஆஸ்க் எனி கொஸ்டின்ஸ், ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேட்கணும் இல்லைனா ஏதாவது ஒரு இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா அந்த டைம்ல நீங்க வந்து அன்மியூட் பண்ணி நீங்க உங்களோட கருத்தை வந்து பதிவு செய்யலாம். அண்ட் அதுக்கு கண்டிப்பா நம்ம அதுக்கு எந்த ப்ராப்ளமும் இல்லை. பட் ஆனா லெசன் கவனிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கும்போது மியூட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா நாய்ஸ் இல்லாம இருக்கும் கொஞ்சம். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார். எஸ் சார், யூ கேன் ஸ்டார்ட் சார்.
Okay, Vignesh.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much, Vignesh. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I'll really like to personally thank Let's Talk, Let's Connect இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி வந்து எடுத்து கொடுத்ததுக்கு. Because this time, this lockdown time and this whole which is happening around, this is very, very something which is giving us a lot back. இதை வந்து நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம்னா, if you understand this time, it is a very great gift. But if you don't understand this time, means yes, you will be in the loss. So yes, all the participants, thank you so much for joining this Monday evening. ரொம்பவே வந்து ஒரு டயர்சமான ஒரு டைம், ரொம்பவே வந்து ஒரு போரிங்கான டைம். பட் as Vignesh said, we are here. I am here with a very interesting topic, because this topic is something which will give you a flying wings. ஏன் அப்படி சொல்றேன்னா, see why I'm telling you like this, because Monday evening ஆகட்டும், whatever the time it might be, this topic is something which might be discussed around even in the early morning also, in the midnight also. But first, before we start, am I visible and audible for everyone? Quickly comments la yes nu podunga. Why or yes? Yes, great. Now, before we start, I request everyone to keep their mics in the mute, so that, as Vignesh said, there should not be any sort of disturbance which is occurring now. Okay. Okay. All right. So today's topic, invent innovation in you. Invent and discovery, rendu vande, it's very side by side topic, right? So when we are in the school also, we used to learn about invention and discovery, correct? When we are talking about invention, we always talk about discovery, and we had a certain debatable concepts also, like which is what, how we can call something an invention and how we can call something discovery, right? So before we get into that, and before we tell you what exactly is this topic and how today we are going to learn about innovation, and how today we are going to learn about how to want to become an innovative person, as Vignesh said, today's session, today's lesson is very, very important. And in this time, you have to inculcate the skill inside you. So before we start, let's just give me a small introduction about myself. My name is Uday Shankar. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a speaker, and recently I'm been YouTubing and blogging also. So this is a journey of around past 8 to 9 years, and it's been very innovative. So when I say it's been very innovative, due to some reason, because this journey was not so simple, and this journey was not so or a perfect path or perfect direction or perfect ana. There was no certain way, there was no certain rules, or there was no certain guiding path, right? So that's where innovation comes in, and that's where I learned to be innovative, because each and every problem has a solution, and each solution has some innovative catch in that, right? I'll tell you more about it. So let's discuss this topic. So are you guys interested? Again, quickly, yes or no, because I want this session to be very, very interactive, very, very innovative, proper questions, proper answers, proper interaction. This will be very interesting on the go. So are you guys ready to start this property? Yes. This energy, actually, it's very surprising, in the Monday evening, this much of energy from the people. Great, guys, great. Thank you so much. Yes. So invent innovation in you is the topic which I wanted in my life from somebody. Now understand this. I wanted this topic from somebody in my life when I was struggling, when I was in a struggling phase, and I wanted some guidance. And I wanted somebody to come and tell me, Uday, do this. Uday, do that. Uday, do this in an innovative way. Uday, do this in an innovative path or a way that something which will happen to you will be very innovative and you will get results immediately. But there was none. There was none. But that again is a very beneficial for me because I learned it from A to Z. This is also very beneficial for me because I learned it from A to Z. Now, when I say about invention and discovery, what is invention and what is discovery? Why we are talking about invent innovation in you and not discover innovation in you? Discovery is something uncovering things, right? When you uncover it, there is something, there is minerals, there are fuels, there are fossil fuels. You discover it because it is already there. You discover it because it is already there. You just need to take it. You just need to find it. But innovation is not something that you already have. Now, this might be a debatable topic. Many of you might argue with me, sir, no, this is something wrong. Everybody has innovation. You just need to find it out. No, not everybody has it. You need to inculcate the skill. Once you understand this, then only your journey of innovation starts. Now, understand this very, very carefully. Your journey of innovation starts until unless you acquire the knowledge that you have to invent it. அதாவது உங்ககிட்ட இல்ல அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நீங்க எப்போ உணர்றீங்களோ அப்போதான் அந்த ஜர்னி ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும். Invention is something which is very, very required. And the first step you realize, you make yourself realize that yes, I have to be innovative. I am not. How many of you agree with me? Innovation is it's not something that you already inherit. இப்போ ஒரு அப்பா ஒரு பெரிய ஜீனியஸ், ஒரு அப்பா பெரிய சயின்டிஸ்ட், அவங்க பையனும் ஆக முடியுமா? அவங்க பையனும் சயின்டிஸ்டோ ஜீனியஸாவோ, ஒரு அப்பா பெரிய கிரிக்கெட்டர், பெரிய பிலிம் ஸ்டார், அவங்க பையனும் ஆக்டிங் இல்லாட்டி ஒரு பெரிய கிரிக்கெட்டர் ஆக முடியுமா? முடியாது. This is not something we inherit. Innovation is not something we inherit. Innovation is something we invent, we acquire through a journey. And that is something, my friends, I'm here to take you in that journey. Right? So let's begin our journey by asking us a very, very few simple questions, such as why to be innovative? See, all of you who's attending this session with me might be having a thought that yes, let's connect as conducting a webinar about invent the innovation in you. But have you asked yourself question like, why I have to be innovative? How many of you asked this question to yourself before coming to this session? How many of you convinced yourself that yes, I'm not innovative, I have to get some knowledge about it? How many of you said that yes, I know about innovation, but let's see what Uday says exactly? Right? So why to be innovative? Why you have to be innovative? Why you have to inculcate the skill? Have you thought about it? Have you asked this question to you? இந்த செஷனுக்கு வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த கேள்வியை நீங்க உங்ககிட்ட கேட்டீங்களா? கேட்டிருக்கீங்கன்னா எஸ்ன்னு சொல்லுங்க. Yes, great. In the innovation topic see, this topic is very, very useful for those who actually strive for that. Curiosity about session. Oh, Mahalakshmi, great. The problem with now the crowd is, or the people around us is, they don't understand why to be innovative. If you ask a shopkeeper if he is not having any sales from last month or past year, if you go and tell him what is your problem, he will say market is down, customers are not buying things, goods are not so proper, the quality is down, the intake and out, export and import is all having a problem, I'm having a lot of family issues. He will pinpoint each and every peripheral topics. He will pinpoint each and every impactful topics, but not point it towards his innovation. Because inside his heart and mind, he is very sure that he is very innovative, right? He is very sure that he is damn innovative about it, that that is not at all a problem. That might never be a problem. All the problem he has in his life is everything apart, everything peripheral, right? Even the people, the students, the aspirants who have joined the session today with me also might be feeling the same at certain amount of time of the point of their life. See, when you do something, you have certain self-confidence, right? And when you are self-confident about something, you miss out to learn. Now, understand this very carefully. This is something, a nuance, just like a cell in our body, right? A smallest particle, a smallest biological unit. This is something, a very small beginning of how to be innovative. When you decide that you are very confident, you miss out to learn because you already are confident about it. Say, for example, when I say I know how to ride a bicycle, will I join a class? Will I join a session of 7 days paying thousands of rupees to learn how to ride a cycle? Yes or no? Will you be joining a class? No, right? Obviously not. If you already are very confident about that skill, why to learn about it? Why to pay money and why to learn about it? But will you able to digest that that class was something different, but not only teaching you how to ride a bicycle, it is about mountain cycling. They were teaching about the skills, they were teaching about the curious techniques which is required to ride a bicycle without, without any gears, or with some with some tough terrains or something. Now, what am I trying to portray is, you need to be innovative only when you decide that yes, I need to be innovative. Why to be innovative is the topic which you need to ask yourself, and answer should be yes, I am not innovative. Then only this will work out. Until unless you make sure, and until unless you tell yourself that yes, I'm not innovative enough, I'm not innovative enough, I have to learn certain things, I have to learn some certain views, certain points, certain techniques to engrow, to achieve, to become something else. Until that box of innovation will not be opened. That will be sealed closed. Understand this. This is not a magic show, right, guys? Who are all joined the session? This is not a magic show. This is a real scientific and technical session. Understand with me. If you have any doubts, stop right then and there and ask me. Because once I get inside the session, there will be certain things which is arguable, certain things which is questionable, certain things which you need clarification. Don't stop. Don't think that somebody else will ask the question. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you give you permission to ask the question. Just post it. No problem in that. I will be answering each and every question. Yes. Moving ahead. I have told you enough. I have told you enough about why to be innovative. Now, what happens when you start that journey? What might happen? Any guesses, guys? If you are an innovative person, if suppose, for example, the people in the room, Mahalakshmi, Nancy, Nandakumar, Vignesh, Shri, Soumya, Rahul, Gaudaman, everybody. If you decide today that yes, you will be an innovative person, what changes? என்னென்ன change, என்னென்ன மாற்றம் நீங்க எதிர்பார்க்கலாம்? Screen is not visible. Just a moment, Nancy.
மேம் ஸ்க்ரீன் விசிபிளாக தான் மேம் இருக்கு.
Vignesh, is the screen is visible or not?
எஸ் சார், விசிபிள் சார். மேம் உங்க நெட்வொர்க் கொஞ்சம் செக் பண்ணி பாருங்க மேம். ஆடியன்ஸ் எல்லாரும் மத்தவங்களுக்கு ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதா? தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா கமெண்ட் செக்ஷன்ல எஸ்ன்னு சொல்லி பாருங்க.
Yes, guys, quick check. Is the screen is visible? Audio is audible? Yes. Yes. Okay. So Nancy, I request you to please check your connection because I guess the problem is in your part. Yes, continuing that. Getting ahead. What changes you when you decide to be innovative? Mahalakshmi has commented that definitely changes myself to be better. Now I want exact answers, Mahalakshmi. I want more precise answer. I want you to think a bit. I'll question myself why I need to be innovative. Now, Kavi Kannan, understand the situation. I asked, you are already an innovative person. You start to be innovative. You start to be innovative enough that you are inventing something. You are innovating something. Now, what changes you? What all the changes happens to you? If I am an innovative person, if I am somebody who is well renowned about innovation, I am worldwide known for innovation, what had changed in me? Yes. So let's begin from small points, small topics that will give us some idea about what will change. New way of thinking. Perfect. I'll give you some topics. I'll give you some topics and let's discuss about the topics one by one. Provides thought. Right. Innovation changes you in a way you think. Yes, exactly. Pungatai, yes, the new way of thinking. It provides you the thought process. I'll be bold and confident. That's right. That's right. That's a byproduct of it. Understand, Kavi? That's a byproduct of it. That's a, like, just you take a tablet, you get a side effect, you get drowsiness. That doesn't, it is not the property of the tablet. It is just the byproduct of the tablet that you get. Okay. Now, it provides you the thought. Now, what I mean by it provides you the thought is when you are innovative person, when you try to be innovative enough, all you have inside you is thoughts. Now, before you are an innovative person, all you had inside you is problems. Now, understand the difference. You have problems when you are not innovative, but when you are innovative, but when you try to be, when you want to be innovative person, you have thoughts now. Right? Understand me? Apple doesn't fall from a tree automatically, right? That is a problem. Apple is so high in the tree. That is a problem. The tree is too tall. That is a problem. The wind is so hard. I can't see up. That is a problem. I can't find a stone. That is a problem. But once innovation starts, you see what all you can do to fix that apple. You try to think about how you can get that apple. You try to collect things. You try to collect people. You try to collect ideas. And finally, when you get apple, you think, if I can get one apple, how much innovation I need, or how I can get all the apples. That's the power of innovation. It provides you the thought and takes out the problem. Agree to me? Agree with me? Yes, guys. Innovation provides you the thought, takes away the problem. Right? Exactly. Next point is it provides initiation. Now, guys, tell me something that before even thinking, can you do anything? யோசிக்காம ஏதாவது பண்ண முடியுமா? இல்ல சார், நான் யோசிக்கவே மாட்டேன், நான் நிறையலாம் யோசிக்க மாட்டேன், டப்புன்னு பண்ணிடுவேன் அப்படின்னு யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா? யோசிக்காம பண்றது வேற. அதாவது few things we can think, few things we do actually, even I times, and sometimes, yes, like Vignesh said, sometimes I also do some things out of thought, like, sometimes I don't think a lot, but those are something which is not affecting me. Understand, guys, Mahalakshmi and Vignesh, understand, those are something which is not affecting me in a very, very nuanced way, that my life is not will be changing. Like, I'm in a way, I'm in a path, I have to decide right or left. I will not be taking decisions out of blue. I will definitely be giving a thought. But some things which doesn't need my, ரொம்ப கூட யோசிக்க கூடாது. Sometimes the things which doesn't require your lot of attention, some things which doesn't require your lot of, you know, innovation or a thought or something, you should not waste your time in that. That is also a point. That is also a very important point. Agree with me or not? Some things doesn't require lot of attention. Some things doesn't require your lot of attention. Those things might be left out without thought. But the things which you are actually engaging yourself, which the things which you are actually looking forward for, something that is life changing, that is something which decides whether you will be going up or down, that phase of life where there is a turning point, there it has to be a thought. It should be, and you have to give some time thinking about it. யோசிக்காம அந்த வேலைங்கெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியாது. You have to do that with a thought process. Now, innovation provides you initiation of that. யோசிக்காம ஏதாவது பண்ண முடியுமா? நான் கேட்டதுக்கு நோன்னு சொன்னீங்க. ஆனா யோசிக்க எப்படி முடியும்? ஏதாவது ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம்னா நீங்க யோசிக்கிறீங்கன்னா அந்த தாட் எங்கிருந்து வருது? அந்த தாட் வந்த அப்புறம் நீங்க ஒரு ஆக்ஷன் எடுக்கிறீங்க பாத்தீங்களா? அந்த ஆக்ஷன் யூஸ்லெஸ்ஸா இருந்தா எடுப்பீங்களா? If that action is useless, if that action will not even take you forward or will not even take you backward, that action will be keeping you on the same level. You will not take that step. That innovation only will help you to take that action forward. If it is okay, if it is not, if it is profitable, if it is not, everything is decided by the innovation inside you. Without it, you will not even take a step. Inspect the flaws. If you are an innovative person, after the session, I can assure you that yes, you will be an innovative person. But what will happen to you is you will be starting to see your faults, right? What all the mistakes, what all the negative points you had. Basically, this is something we are very poor at, right? Agree with me or not? We don't see our faults easily. Until unless we go in a very bad phase, we fail, we get hurt, and somebody comes and tells us on the face, after a big life lesson only, we agree that yes, we are wrong. True or not? That's a human nature. We don't need to be worried about it, or we don't need to be afraid about it, or we don't need to be shameful about it. That's a human nature. We do not agree. We do not agree to our faults. That's something. It's very natural about it. That's something which is very natural about humans. But after the session, you will find yourself inspecting your thoughts, inspecting your faults. Now, what will happen? What will happen? Once you start to discover, once you start to see your faults, what will happen? What changes will happen? Yes, guys. நம்ம எங்க தப்பு பண்றோம்னு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி யோசிக்க ஆரம்பிச்ச உடனே என்னென்ன மாற்றம் வரும்? இது தப்பு, இது ரைட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது what all changes we might expect after we inspect the faults? What all changes, guys? Potential opportunity to correct ourselves. Yes. Potential opportunity to correct ourselves. That's right, Gautam. Next, overthinking about it. Now, understand this in a very, very nuanced way. When you inspect the faults, you are the first person to encounter it. Understand this very carefully, my friends. When you inspect the fault inside you, you are the first person to encounter it. Now imagine that this person, the first person, is not you. This first person is your manager, the customer, the person who is buying from you, the person who is ahead of you, the person who is boss of you. How much difficult is for you to overcome that? Because that will not be something very simple. Your boss will not come and tell you, hey Mahalakshmi, hey Nancy, Gaudaman, this is a mistake of you, please kindly change it, no problem, you have made this time, next time when you do it, I'll correct you. No boss, no manager tells you that, right? Because that's a fault, that's a mistake. But if you inspect your faults, but you inspect your mistakes, you will be the first person to encounter you. And once you encounter your faults, you can easily change it. And why? See, basically, I also know what all my faults are. I also know where I go wrong. But why I can change it? Because I have innovation in my mind. I exactly know if I don't change all these things in my life, I cannot proceed further. I cannot go to the next level of my life. I cannot be innovative enough. I exactly know that. And that's the reason, and that's exactly the reason why I try to inspect my faults and correct it. And it instigates the power in you. I guess in the chat box somebody has said it gives you power, it gives you caliber, it gives you, it gives you a different kind of potential, energy, because you will be very sure. I'll tell you more of it. You will be very sure in the long run that even though my company fires me, even though I am no one, even though I'm jobless, even though I'm on the roads, you will be instigating that much of power to yourself, that much of potential to yourself, and you will be so confident about your caliber. Yes, not today, not tomorrow, I will build an empire. And that amount of caliber and that amount of confidence will be injected inside you, instigated inside you through innovation only. An innovative mind is not alone. An innovative mind does not need to fear about anything, because that's where ideas begin. That's where empires build. That's where innovation starts, from a mind. Look around you, as Vignesh has given an introduction, very beautiful introduction. Like, look around you. You will have a Newton, you will have some scientists around you, because they have invented so many things which you are using till date. That didn't came from any books, any movies or anything. That all came from human brain. It all came from human mind. Their innovation, their thought gave us so much that we can connect now with the webinar sitting kilometers apart. This is something appreciable, but understand, these all innovative ideas, these all innovative traits has been invented by a human like you and me, right? Now, getting ahead, it always gives you an idea. As I said, you should not be afraid. You might be in a situation where you feel like, okay, now what? After this, I don't have anywhere to go. After this is a dead end. You might be a student, you might be an IT professional, you might be anybody for the same. But this is something will always provide you, will always feed you with some idea. Or innovative mind you will always keep on getting some ideas. Now understand this. நீங்க ஒரு பிசினஸ் மேன், ஒரு மார்க்கெட்ல இருக்கீங்க, சேச்சுரேஷன் ஆயிடுச்சு, nobody is buying anything. ஒரு ஐடியா இருந்தா அந்த பவுன்ஸ், அந்த பவுண்டரிஸ், அந்த அந்த ஒரு ஆப்ஸ்டிக்கல் விட்டு வெளியே வர்றதுக்கு you will be getting a thrust, a boost. But understand, in the same way, if you will not be so innovative, if you will be just blaming if you just blaming peripheral things, other things, how that will affect you and how that will help you? It will not. It will just be, dragging yourself towards that gravity and the hole, and you will be going down and down and down. Agree with me or not? And do you agree that these are the changes that innovation brings in you? Yes. A quick yes. Great. I'm loving this audience. Great. Yeah. Going ahead. How many of you know these people? Who are they? That old man, I guess everybody will be familiar. Everybody will be familiar with Steve Jobs. Yes, Nandakumar. Yes. Anybody knows this boy in the below? Huh? Any idea? Naren. Who's Naren? Hmm? No, no, no. He is not involved in any F1 or something. No. Yes, guys, I'll give you some more time. Who is this? Ritesh Agarwal. Ritesh Agarwal. Nandakumar, you're right. He is Ritesh Agarwal. And what is he famous for? Nandakumar, what did he do? Oyo rooms. Great. Interesting, guys. This is very, 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 very. I'm so happy that this crowd, this room is so indulged with great minds. Great. So I'll tell you one story about it. Because basically we get inspired by people, right? We get inspired by the stories, we get inspired by people, we get inspired by their work. I'll just try to do the same. I'll just try not to tell you a story, but I'll just try to pinpoint some things which they did. Let's start with Ritesh Agarwal because most of us doesn't know him. He's he was when he found Oyo rooms. He was 20 years old. 20 years old, and he didn't had any money for education to support his family or something. He just took 50 rupees. I repeat, he just took 50 rupees from his father and said in Hindi that Papa, मैं जाता हूँ कुछ करके आऊंगा. Because Dad, I'll go and I'll do something, I'll prove something, I'll become something and come back. Because he has nothing to lose. He only had 50 rupees and he needed to find a job to support himself, not the family, but to support himself. His father was so disappointed by him. His family was so in the struggling phase that they can't afford for any college education or a degree or on overseas. That's a very, very far dream. But all he had in his mind is to do something that he is so sure. He is just in the brim. He was just ready to burst, but not the right moment. He searched for jobs. He was a newsletter, uh, the newspaper boy who delivers newspapers, who throws newspapers to the house, right? He was doing that. He used to sell milk. He used to deliver milk to homes. But this was not something he already wanted. He wanted something more in his life. He was 20 years old. And nobody was able to give him a job because nobody used to believe young people, right? He can't get a very renowned job. He can't get a very responsible job which might pay him around 10,000 or 20,000. No, he was just earning 1,500 rupees per month by doing the small jobs. Now later he went to a hotel which was so not famous and so not very found, and the business was going so low for that hotel owner. There he convinced the hotel owner that he will do every job in the hotel. He will do every job in the hotel, from the cleaning to cooking to delivery to a houseboy to a room boy. Every job in the hotel he will be doing. And he just wants a shelter, 3 times of food, and some time to think about what he is going to do next. Understand the story, guys. This is not something, you know, a simple story. It has a lot of meaning in it. Now, when he was in that hotel, when he was one fine day, he was washing the utensils, he was cleaning the utensils. He saw the utensil was full of waste food, right? That was sticking around the walls of the utensil. He took that scrub, He scrubbed it for 2 minutes and washed it with water, and it was all clean and as new. He thought that why the utensils is not thrown off. Why we are using the same utensil again and again? The reason is it has been cleaned, it has been renewed, it has been again and again washed and cleaned properly. The utensil is used again and again just because it is presentable. It is again as new as the first. What- The same thing he decided to do with the hotel. He just convinced again the hotel owner to provide him with some budget and told him that if he fails, he will just let no, he will be a lifetime servant in that hotel. He will just let him to be a lifetime servant in the hotel. The owner agreed. He handed him over around 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees for exact. And he brought a lot of things. He cleaned the room. He decorated it again in a minimal way. Named him and named it as the Oyo rooms. Oyo rooms. Yeah. And that's the beginning. And that's where he found a website. That's where he hired people. And that's where he started to grow the business. And within a 1 year of span, he was an owner of 1,000 crores of business. He was having around 8,000 chains of hotels engaged within him. And right till now, even today, these OYO rooms are so famous, so affordable, just because Ritesh Agarwal at the age of 20 thought, why not to reuse the same utensil again after washing and making it more presentable? Now, everybody in this room heard the story, and some people might have heard the story a way long before also, again and again also. But what is special about Ritesh Agarwal? Yes, guys. What was so special about Ritesh Agarwal that we are talking about him in this session about innovation?
Self-confidence.
Self confidence. Um, I'll give you 2 out of 5. That is not exactly the point. His innovative idea, again, not exactly the point. Nancy, it's creativity. Nope. No. Creativity, yes, it is. See, the creativity, innovation, self confidence is something are the byproducts. See, again, understand this. Why I'm telling you, and I'm taking you guys in step by step process. Why? Because I have to get you to that level that you understand this concept. And when you understand this concept, it should be easy for you to implement it. I'll not be leaving you in a blank space that yes, I don't, sir, whole, sir, 1.5 hours, but I can't understand what to do, right? I'll not be leaving you like that. Analytical skills, no, Ammu, no. Fill the gaps, Senthil Kumar, no. See, I'll tell you one thing. Is Ritesh Kumar the first person to clean the utensils? Yes, no. Is the Ritesh Kumar is the first person who was out of his house without the money? Smart work and style of work. No, Mahalakshmi, just listen. Constant aggression. No. His thirst of success to earn money. Is the Ritesh Kumar the first person to have the thirst of success to earn money? Even you, Kavi Kannan, Vignesh, everybody who is in this room has the thirst of success. Want to earn money. Even myself, I am very, very, a striving person. I really want to be successful. I really want to earn money more and more and more. Everybody, every person in this world wants to thrive, the success, and earn money. What was different in Ritesh? What was different in Ritesh Agarwal? Forced to live or survive. There are many people, Ammu, there are many 1,000 lakhs of people who are surviving, who want to survive. What is exactly the difference? What was this guy did something different? He was poor.
Change in the way of
Millions of
thinking.
sorry,
Change in the way of thinking.
change in the way of thinking. You are around 80% close, right? So basically understand this. I'll come to the point. Basically understand this. There are people around this world, millions of people who are poor like Ritesh. There are millions of people who didn't had money like Ritesh. There are millions of people who are actually striving and working hard to survive like Ritesh. There are millions of people who doesn't have money. There are millions of people who doesn't have any kind of job. There are millions of people who actually work for just one time of food. All he did, understand this, guys, all he did is an innovative ideas challenge. Just wait, guys, just wait. I'm coming to the point. All he did is an innovative site, giving a innovative insight towards the problem. Millions of people are poor. Millions of people wash the dishes in their households every day. Even in the lockdown, I was washing the dishes. I didn't had this idea. I will never have this idea, even though this lockdown will continue for next year. I will never be able to, have this idea. I will just be cursing this lockdown. Oh my God, what is this? Right? What is this? My maid is not coming. The lockdown is there. I can't go out. I can't enjoy with my friends. There is so much freedom lost. Only complaints, only problems will be rushing towards me. But for Ritesh, he didn't blame anybody. For Ritesh, he didn't blame his peripheral, he didn't blame his problems. He found a solution. Even though while cleaning the utensils, he was innovative. Now, understand this, guys. Innovation is not something, an event which will happen in your life. What changed Ritesh Agarwal's life is he was innovative from tip to toe. 24 into 7, he was thoughtful. What changed Ritesh Agarwal's mind or life is the innovation drive is something he was striving for day and night. That didn't stop him whether he was poor or jobless or homeless or foodless, whatever the situation was, he was innovative, or at least he was trying to be innovative. Agree with me or not? Because the situation which you guys are proposing, that attracted to the crowd or the problem solving, we all have it. These things are these things are easy to acquire. These things we all learn from the school days. Problem solving techniques, challenging ourselves. We have heard about different challenging ourselves with webinars, solutions. We have it all. But what changed Ritesh Agarwal's life is innovation 24 into 7. At least thinking about it, giving it a thought. Yes, guys, agree with me or not? Innovative drive is not something that you do just for the problem. Innovative drive is something you do all the time. 24 into 7, each and every moment of your life, every time, every moment, whatever you are doing, even though I'm sitting in this talking to you, I'm just thinking about well, how more innovatively I can deliver it to you, how many things, or how differently I can tell you a concept of innovation more innovatively. So this is the secret, nothing else. You don't need to be waiting for an opportunity, or you don't need to be waiting for a problem to be innovative. You have to be innovative 24 into 7. You have to be innovative 365 days a year. And that's where, when the problem comes up, you will see that problem as a gift, not a problem. You will see a problem as a gift, not as a problem, because that's the stage you are waiting for. Understand this. When I'm already practicing how to fire a bow, how to, handle bow and arrow, I just need a target. But when the target appears, I will not go and fetch the bow and arrow and start practicing about it. Understand this? You have to be ready. You have to be already innovative to solve the problem. The problem will not teach you how to be innovative. You have to tackle the problem with the innovation that you have learned already. Clear, guys? Any doubts? Any questions regarding this? Great. Let's talk about this old man here. right? More famous, more well-known personality, Steve Jobs, right? Steve Jobs, I don't need to give any introduction, but yet, it's our honor. It's a great pleasure to talk about this great personality that he was a business magnate. He was such an innovative person, such an astonishing CEO, such a brave decision maker that he was never wrong. Again, he failed, but he was never wrong. He was such an innovative person that today, today the Apple market share price is $800 million, even though he was no more. In after 2010, when he after his dismissal, even after 10 years of his dismissal, Apple still holds the market value of 800 million. Sorry, figures are $800 billion in the market. Let's just look into his life. Let's just peep into his life so that we can know more about it. Right? Steve Jobs was not so educated person. He was a college dropout, born in California, around in the year of somewhere around 1960s, and he was a college dropout because he didn't understood why the schools are teaching or why the colleges are teaching these things which I don't want, which will be no use to me. That's his thought. And nobody understood him basically when he was in his 15 years old, 16 years old. Nobody understood him. He came out of the college, and by 1972, when he was 21-year old, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak both started Apple. The Apple company started to make computers by 1972. And the specialty of that computer was to be in a certain zone, to be in a certain way that should be more light, more compact, more full of performance. And they wanted to do something, give it like, because before that there was big sized computers, big hardwares, big materials, big space. It occupied this big space and it was slow. But Steve Jobs wanted to change the game. He wanted to do something and give it back by doing and by eradicating these problems around it. And he did it. Apple One was launched in the late 1970s, and soon after that, Apple Two was launched, which is exactly the success point of Steve Jobs. And he was, world-renowned famous. Apple is world-renowned brand, and that was the moment he got success in the brand of Apple. The Apple became a brand by late 1970s. Now, after a few days, after a few years, he appointed a CEO, a former CEO of Pepsi. His name was John Sully, right? John Sully was appointed as the chief executive of Apple. And after a point, thinking of the market, John Sully, understand this, guys, this is very important. John Sully decided that Apple is only just creating something out of the blue, out of the box. That doesn't even, it is not something competing with the market. The app and John Sully wanted to be in the market, compete in the market, right? If everybody is selling pencils and rubbers, why to sell pens? John Sully wanted to be be in the market competition. And as Steve Jobs, he was not ready to lose what he is doing at its best. So in the clash, so in a lot of heated arguments, John Sully asked Steve Jobs to resign. The Steve Jobs was fired. After 2 years, John Sully was a chief executive of Apple. And just imagine, without Apple, without Steve Jobs, and that was the phase. Apple was inside the market, and again it started to compete with the competitors like IBM and the famous brands who were actually developing computers. They launched things called Newton, Lisa, PDAs. They launched Macintosh, right? And these are some things, these are the products of Apple which failed miserably. The reason, they were into competition and they lost the innovative part. They went into the competition, they lost something which they were being good and doing it for the lot of years. They lost it. But at the same time, Steve Jobs, at the other side, all the money he had, he invested in Pixar. Yes? How many of you know about Pixar? Ever heard about it? Pixar, Pixar. Animation company. It was a very downgrading, downgoing, downhill animation company when Steve Jobs brought it and started his innovation, invested his innovation in that company. And in late 1997, it got a big hit. And that movie was Toy Story, right? The Toy Story was worldwide hit because Steve Jobs' innovative ideas, Steve Jobs mentions ideas and the techniques which he used to innovate Apple, he invested those ideas in Pixar. And Pixar was a world famous animation company after that. It gave us Toy Story series, it gave us Star Wars, and that journey was long. By seeing this and realizing their mistake, the board of Apple again asked Steve Jobs to join back. And when he came back as an acting CEO, the first thing he did is to stop the production of Macintosh, the floppies and the Lisa, Newton, everything which Apple was doing for like past few years. He shut down the production houses. And then later, within a year, he found iMac, the Mac series, the MacBooks. And you all know, guys, how famous and how much people loved that MacBook, the Mac computers, the series. And later, he also invented iPhones, iPads, and so on. The journey went till 2010, apart from his dismissal. Now, what is something Steve Jobs did from the beginning to end? What is something the Steve Jobs did from beginning to end? He was innovative. He wanted to be in an innovative streak, not something in a very crowded way. I'll get to understand. I'll tell you in a very clear way by telling you the tale of two cities. Yes, right. The tale of two cities. Never compromise in his thoughts. Yes. Quickly, because we are running against the time and the time is around 7. I have only 30 minutes to go. So I'll quickly tell you the tale of two cities. Can you see the color of the two cities? Yes, the red and blue. Just assume these are the two cities with a wide boundary, right? The tale of two cities. The red city is full of vendors, full of marketplace. Everybody there wants to sell the same product. Everybody there is competing with each other and is filled with people, filled with same-minded people in the competition, and there is no space for anything which is new because there are already a lot of vendors doing the same thing, right? Now, understand, if you go there, if you go in that city and do the same thing, if suppose, for example, red city, everybody is a shoe seller, everybody sells shoes, and you decide that no, one day I'll be investing in shoes and I will go to the red city and sell shoes, you will be the one among many. You'll be the one among many. And just try to understand how much business you can make in this city. Can you make a big fortune? Yes or no? Can you be very successful in the city? Yes or no? Can you be very achieving the targets, your goals, your yearly targets which you have set to your employees that yes, this month, this year, I'll be selling this much shoes. What is the problem here? The demand of the customers is already been saturated by many sellers. Understand this. Demand, if the shoe is a demand, it is already been saturated by many vendors. Now, if you try to sell the same thing, the ratio changes. See, whenever you want to be in the marketplace, whatever you're selling, whatever you're teaching, whatever you're trying to Yes, heavy competition, try to understand 80-20% rule. It should be always 80% of the consumers to 20% of the vendors. Only 20% should be the seller of the product to 80% of the crowd. Once this ratio changes, where 80% of the vendors sell the same thing to the 20% of the customers, always there will be a saturation of your productivity, the marketing, right? Let's come to the Blue City. Blue City doesn't have a lot of competitors. Blue City is very, very free. Blue City is so free that you just can walk in and start selling your product with some lot of uniqueness, with some small changes, with some small uniqueness, and trying to figure out what exactly is the need. Now, what is the difference between the two cities? The difference between the two cities is the red city is filled with the same minded people, same products, same competition, same saturation, same market, and going behind and running behind the same rat race, and trying to engage themselves in the same race that everybody is in running of. And people are joining there to run, fall, get hurt, again running, but they will not reach the target because the crowd is so much. The crowd is so much. And the buyer, the consumer only wants 2 or 3 of them, not 30 or 300 of them. But rather than the Blue City, these people, these 3 people are innovative at the other hand. These 3 people are innovative and they're pitching in some products, pitching in some services, which is not at all discussed in the red city. Now understand and compare these stories, these tale of two city with the Steve Jobs, Ritesh Agarwal. They didn't want to compete in the red city. And when the Apple tried to do so, they failed because they already had a saturation upheld there. Steve Jobs always believed to be in the blue city and sell their products, to do something innovative, do something different, not to do something over and over in the saturated way, again and again in the same process. It will not take you anywhere. Rather, it will only make you stay in one place and just worry about your future. Agreed with me or not? What's an innovation? When I say be innovative, be innovative, be innovative, what's an innovation? What is exactly in an innovation? If I decide to be an innovative person, if I propose an idea, how will I know that I am an innovative person? How will I know that this idea is innovation? Or I have discovered, I have invented something that is something that might be called as an innovative idea. I'll just help you with that. The rule the market. Okay, that idea should rule the market. It should not be something that will only be beneficial for you. It should be in the market. It should be globally beneficial. It should rule the market. It should be something different, which is out of the box. Always remember the red city and the blue city concept. If your idea, if your rule, if your idea, if your thought, if your innovation is something which is complying with the red city, no, my friends, that is not something an innovative idea. That idea has already been saturated. That idea has already been saturated. That idea has already been discussed and thrown off, and nobody is giving any view on that. So you have to think about something which will rule the market and which will be in the blue city. Something fresh. Innovation is something fresh, not something copied off, not something from brought off, not something, stealing some others' ideas. It should be something fresh and it should be totally new to the market. If you'll be selling the same shoes, same design, same way, you cannot expect to be successful. Just try to compare with everything around you. If you try to be something different, if you want to be something different, if you want to earn money, if you want to be successful, do something new about it. Or if you don't have anything to do something new about it, at least do it in a very different way, right? And it should be purely original. Do not copy it and do not take it from anybody else. Understand this. Do not copy or take it from anybody else, because in that way, in that manner, you will be losing a huge out of market. You will be losing a huge amount of audience which are waiting for you for your originality. Apple or OYO rooms are not a copy product. They are something original. And that is also welcomed in the market because people understood the demand and the requirement of the product. You have to develop that, right? And also, it should add some value to it. As I said, do something that people understand the value of, people understand the necessity of. If you do something which is not at all required, say for example, now if I take if I take a franchisee of Gucci bags or Zara clothings, will I be successful? I will not, because at this present moment, when everybody is striving to just be alive or just be, supporting their family in a minimum way, nobody is going behind any branded products or a handbag or clothings. Try to do something which is value added, right? Going ahead. This point, before this point, I want you to ask any questions, any doubts till now. If you want to ask, if you want to clarify. Yes, my friends, till now, till here, before I tell you a few magical points about how to be innovative, points which we were waiting for so long. Yes, before that, no, good to go. Thank you, Madhumita. Yes, before we go, before we start, till here, we were talking about different aspects, different branches of innovation. Right now, I'm going to tell you about how to go towards the roots of innovation. Right? We were talking about the branches. Now, I'm going to tell you the roots of innovation. First point is you have to implement the curiosity factor inside you. If you want to be innovative, say for example, if you want to be innovative, if you want to be first point is seek. I'm sorry that the slider was hiding the whole part. Yes, now it's okay. Now it's good. Now we're good to go. Yeah. First point is to seek. See, when you want to be innovative, understand from the examples which we have just spoken about. Even from Ritesh to Steve Jobs, they always seek something to do different, something to do apart from the mainstream jobs, apart from something which is very common. They seek the problem's solution. They didn't only seek problems, they also seek problems solution, right? Moreover, going forward, they implemented the curiosity in it. Why? They asked the answers, they asked the question to themselves multiple times. Why? They kept on asking that multiple times. Right? Next part is they failed. How to be innovative? Feeling is something which is very, very required, my friends. Overall in this room, understand. If you want to seek something, if you want to be curious about something, and if you want to achieve that innovation inside you, you have to fail. And failing is a part of the journey, not something which will tell you to that you're going in the wrong direction. Understand this. Failing is a part of journey, and that is required. No matter what you are doing, the moment you decide to be innovative, there are a lot of chances that you will fail. And that's exactly the point. You might assure and you might ensure yourself, you might assure yourself that yes, I'm in the right direction. Before that, if you're not feeling, if you're in the right path, if you're not feeling and moving it forward, you have to doubt yourself that yes, am I doing a right job because I'm not failing, right? Next, once you fail, seek again. Now, this is the part when you have the first point, you have seek the problem solution, you implemented the curiosity, you failed. And once you fail, you now understand what to eliminate and what to keep. And once you understand what to eliminate and what to keep, the second point will be challenging yourself to be something different, challenging yourself to be something in a level up. Understand this. You seek the problem solution, you implemented the curiosity in it, you failed somewhere, and you seek again eliminating the problems where you failed, and then you challenged yourself to do what? To meet like and unlike people, unlike-minded people. Now, when you challenge yourself, please, guys, please, my friends, understand there might be possibly no way that you can do everything of yourself. Even I, as an entrepreneur, have a team to do different tasks. When you are in an innovative path, understand there is no person in this world, or there is no certain way that everybody know everything. You have to go and meet like-minded people to support your views. You have to go meet unlike-minded people to know what is the gray area. Are you getting me? If you are a white person, if you're a white-minded people, there are black-minded people, not positive and negative, but people who have different concept about the idea. There should be a gray area when you're meeting around. That gray area should be something which you have to know. Things should be like what you have to do, what you do not have to do, and what you can do while taking the risk. Understand this. That only can be told by unlike-minded people, not the like-minded people. See, if you come and ask me about, can I start a company? Can I be an entrepreneur? Yes, of course. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I will just motivate you. I'll tell you what to do, how to do. I'll be telling you the pathway. I'll be guiding you. But you also have to meet who is not an entrepreneur, because he will be telling you what all the risk involved of being an entrepreneur. But that doesn't should stop you being an entrepreneur. At least try to listen to that person and do exactly what all he has said as risk. Try to eliminate those points also. Am I clear, guys? Am I clear with like-minded and unlike-minded people? Because the person who invented helicopters, he met like-minded people, right? The person who invented parachutes met unlike-minded people. Am I right? The person who invented a person who invented helicopters met all the people who agreed with the idea that yes, helicopter with one blade, three blades can rotate and make it fly. But the person who invented parachute also met with unlike-minded peoples who didn't agree to that point, and they were so negative about it that no, helicopters should not fly, or helicopters can't fly. But if it is all flying, there might be a risk of crashing, there might be accidents. You should always have certain contingency planned, and that's where parachutes are discovered, right? Exactly. Learn do's and don'ts from people who tried and attempted, and also from the people who didn't. That's my point here. Not always the knowledge resides from the people who know, people who have done everything. Knowledge also resides people who didn't do anything, because they are being stopped by certain thoughts. You need to know about that thoughts, and you have to eliminate that thoughts inside you to do something different. Moving ahead, keep taking notes, my friends. In this journey, you will be coming across a lot of things which will be asking you to take notes, which will be seeking your permission to take notes. And these are the things which is very important, because taking notes is something which will remind you that what and where the person who has seeked you, or you have seeked the person, given the knowledge, gain the knowledge from everyone. Keep taking notes. keep taking notes along the path, and always observe the happenings around you, even if it is for good, even if it's for bad. Understand these two ways and understand these points. Seek, implement the curiosity, fail, and eliminate that and seek again. And then challenge yourself and meet like and unlike minded people and keep on taking notes while the journey when you're going in that pathway and always observe. Hitesh Agrawal, Steve Jobs, and many other entrepreneurs, many other startup company, many other big shots, big business magnates are here ruling the market because they observed certain things which we don't. In our day-to-day life, there are certain things which needs correction. But until unless you observe those problems, you cannot correct it. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Quickly? Yes. So we are in the last part, and I'll ask the question again. Can you identify these two personality or these three personalities? In the last part of the session, I'll tell you what exactly is needed to be innovative, right? That's something which is very, very, this question I come across in a very lot ways and a very, every webinar I take about innovation. So what exactly we need to be innovative, right? That's something, a question which is really to need to be answered. And that's the last session. That's the last part of the session. Yes. What exactly needs to be innovative? Can you identify these three figures, these three personalities? Big brothers? You're not big brothers. They might be big brothers of somebody, but you have to be more precise about their names or at least their titles or at least their inventions or at least something about them. Okay, fine. Moving ahead, we will be talking about these three personalities. Right, brother? Yes, on your screens, right hand, the two people, they are Wright brothers, Oliver Wright and Wilbur Wright. Anybody remember the person who is in the left? Anybody knows the person who is in the left? Quickly, guys. Okay, let's get. No, it's not addition. No, actually, this is an interactive session where I ask people, where I ask students what exactly it needs to take, what exactly it takes to be innovative. But I'll be just hitting the points where we can just wind up the session in time. So let's move ahead and see what exactly needs to be innovative. Now, everybody, I want you to pay attention in a very keen way and tell me after I read it out, person A, a person A, we will name a person A, who is from rich family background, who didn't even saw what is poor, how to be, know what the meaning of poor, he was never even encountered about that. He never had any sort of defense of money in his whole life. And his all experiments was funded by government because his father was some minister at those times. He had a team of brilliant engineers with him, and he was astronomer with university degree. He was a university degree holder and a class topper of his class, and he was physicist, top of his class. Again, person A was from a rich family background where he didn't had any problem buying materials, buying components, huge machineries, never had a problem. He was funded by government. He had a team of brilliant engineers, and he had himself an astronomy degree and a physicist, top of his class. Let's quickly see about person B. The person B belonged to a very poor family background. He didn't had any funding from anybody, from family, friends, and the government. And they were just team of two curious minds. They didn't had any degree or no proper education on the cards. They didn't had anything apart from whatever they learned from observation. And as a profession, they were just bicycle repair, and they used to repair the bicycles, and they owned printing press. Now quickly answer me, who might be possibly invented aeroplanes, person A or a person B?
Person B.
Person B. Why?
As they had curious minds.
Good, great. Anybody else? Yes, Vignesh. The
And
person B.
they're repairing
Sorry?
bicycles, sir. And they're repairing bicycles and own printing press.
Okay, so that's the reason why they invented aeroplanes.
No, sir. அந்த இடத்துல அவங்க ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னு கேள்விப்பட்டேன். which means அவங்க இன்வென்ஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் வச்சு அதுல இது பண்ணாங்க.
Okay, அந்த இடத்துல அவங்க பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்க. சூப்பர். Anybody else? Come on, guys. I have only 5 minutes. Come on, quickly. All right. So as we all know, yes.
They might have felt difficult to ride a bicycle, so they may be inventing something new.
That's something inspirational, that they believe they can fly while riding the bicycle. That's something inspirational. But the problem is, you can see the two images, right? That's something, this person in the right, this person in the left, the name was Samuel Pierpont Langley, who was very rich, had a huge team of engineers, was a physicist, was an astronomer, and he had personally been befriended with Edison, Newton, and in that era. And these people, these two poor little champs, were Oliver Wright and Wilbur Wright, the Wright brothers. Look at the difference of these two inventions. These two inventions, look at the difference. These are something in a very big, this is something which is looking like a big building, and this is something looking like a plane which is actually flying. Now, this happened in the same time zone, right? These two people were working, and they didn't knew about each other. They were working separately around, somewhere around the world, not connected. But the problem here is, Samuel Langley invested every ounce, but he lacked innovation. Rather, in this place, they didn't had anything but only innovation. Now you have the results in front of you, my friends who are attending this webinar. You have the results in front of you. Who was successful? The small thing that Samuel Langley missed out, at what made a plane fly. And that is the small thing they observed in an innovative part. The Wright brothers, they observed that a bird, when they fly, they flap the wings. So any object to fly, they should have a wing which is movable. That is the innovative idea which is now taking us to the skies, and we are flying kilometers apart. And that's the only idea where the Wright brothers try to empathize and find some way that they can fly. Yes, if the birds can fly by flapping their wings and changing the wing position, also our planes can be. Birds are flying for centuries, my friends. The Wright brothers are the only first person to observe in an innovative insight. Understand why innovation is required, why innovation is necessary, because without innovation, nothing can be useful. Or you might have best infrastructure, best of the class education, you might be rich, but without innovation, you might also not be so sufficed and be failing in every step you might be taking, right? So always remember, rise again whenever you fall, because that's what we are trained for. That's what humans are. That's what exactly the human nature is. We are not something, we are not somebody, or we are not being trained or raised in this race just to suffice in a level, in a platform, and be continuously in that same zone. We have to thrive. We have to rise each and every day. The sun also sets each and every day, but that doesn't mean the next day it fails to rise, right? Quickly, guys, any questions? Just shoot. Exactly, I have 1 minute. Just shoot. Any questions? Come on.
பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணிட்டு கூட பேசலாம்.
Any questions regarding the session? Any questions on any topic? Any questions on anything which you feel like, yes, this is something which I didn't understood?
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible? I'm Pungoday.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me.
Yeah. I run my opticals for the past 20 years. I
Okay.
want to know how to arrive at the required innovation which will rule the market. Because the moment or the second we think of something, அது 10 மடங்கு 20 மடங்கு அட்வான்ஸ்டா வந்து இன்டர்நேஷனல் கம்பெனிஸ் அதை கண்டுபிடிச்சிடுறாங்க. So how to arrive at it?
See, நான் வந்து ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு ஐடியா உங்களுக்கு மட்டும் பிச் பண்றேன். பிகாஸ் இன்னோவேஷன்ங்கிறது வந்து யூ ஹாவ் டு திங்க் அபவுட் இட் அண்ட் ஐ வில் டெஃபினெட்லி பி கைடிங் லைட். பட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் திஸ், உங்க ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து என்ன ஒரு யூனிக்னஸ் கொடுக்கலாம். பிகாஸ் ரெட் சிட்டில இருக்கிறதோ ப்ளூ சிட்டில இருக்கிறதோ அந்த நீங்க தான் டிசைட் பண்ணணும். See where you are, right? How the crowd is around you, how many vendors are there for the opticals உங்க சரௌண்டிங்ல. அதுக்கேத்த மாதிரி you have to decide, are you in the red city or in the blue city? But are you, if you are in the red city, what uniqueness you can implement? Tell me first thing, Punguday, do you have a website?
Yes, I have, but it's a very primitive one.
No, that's where you have to be unique. Because see, basically if you see Lenskart, நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்களா?
Yeah.
That's also an optical store, but doesn't have any physical presence. It doesn't require, or it doesn't depend on their physical stores, because their website is so developed and so unique that people are so profound about it. They hit it, they buy the products online. They don't even go outside of the house. Innovation is not something which is saturated. If you think about Lenskart also, right, there might be a team of people sitting to make it more innovative. So when you say that, yes, sir, this is all stopped, now I can not do anything, that is where you have to think again, right? You have to think again. You have to think in a very different way, unique way, that how, even if I am selling an opticals in the crowd of 100 optical vendors, what I can do different, or how I can approach these people in a different way, that yes, they feel like something is in a very connected way, right?
Okay.
What என்ன ஒரு டிஃபரெண்டா நாம பண்ணலாம், கஸ்டமர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து இது வந்து ஒரு டிஃபரெண்டான அப்ரோச் கொடுக்க முடியும். Am I clear, Pungai?
Yeah.
Basically what I'm trying to say is, customers ஓட டிமாண்ட் வந்து ஒரு பக்கம், கஸ்டமர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து டிமாண்ட் இல்லாதது வந்து ஒரு கண்டுபிடிச்சி அது வந்து அவங்க டிமாண்ட் ஆக்குறது வந்து ஒரு பக்கம்.
Okay.
Understanding this, because this is how the market is playing with us. Basically, I'll tell you a small story. நம்மலாம் வந்து சின்ன வயசுல இருந்தே வந்து ஒரு பழைய காலத்து தாத்தா பாட்டி எல்லாம் நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா, இந்த வேப்பில மரம் அந்த கட்டையை வச்சுதான் நம்ம பல் தேய்ப்போம். கரெக்டுங்களா? neem branch வச்சுதான் we used to brush our teeth. Correct?
Yeah.
When the market came in, they just demolished that idea and told that we will get mouth cancer, we will get lot of diseases, and they made a requirement, they made a necessity of us to go and buy toothbrush and toothpaste. Right? After a decade, they again came to neem toothpaste. Correct? So because basically when you want to sell something, right, you have to make a demand of that in the market, then only you can sell that. If you don't make a demand of that market, if you don't make a demand of that product, nobody is going to buy that. Until unless I feel that, yes, even though my eyes are very well, even though my eyes are very clear, I have to go and buy opticals from Pongurai. Until unless that, you have to be innovative in that level. It's sheer innovative ideas, and if you can implement that ideas into your productive works, you can be doing wonders in the market.
The product has to be irresistible, isn't it?
Right.
And
The
unique.
product has to be irresistible. And see, basically,
Unique also.
unique also, and the product should be having certain brand value, right? Some
Value,
things in
okay.
our house is not our necessity, but just we buy it for, just to show off. Correct?
Oh, okay.
Those are the things also you have to take care of it. Because see, when it comes to product and marketing, right, it's a big ocean to talk about. Right? Yes,
That's right.
Pankaj. I hope this is some sort of help for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Yes.
Audience, any other questions?
Yes, Gautaman, thank you so much. You loved the session. I loved the participants actually. They were very responsive. They were very interesting to talk to, and they are very interactive. And I hope in the coming up futures and the future sessions, I get these guys and plus more interesting participants, because let me tell you guys, for this innovative traits, right, we have around 6 traits where there is a behavioral and cognitive traits, and around 21 grooming principles and 41 thinking strategies. This is not something which we can talk in 1.5 hours session. Some way, Sunday or some time in a very sooner time, we will talk to the Let's Talk and Let's Connect, and we will have a series of sessions where it will be like a week of session or something, where we will talk in a very in-depth way, like how we can change ourselves to be innovative in a real innovative way, and we can solve some business related problems also, because these are something which is very much required in day-to-day life of today's scenario, right? So thank you so much, Vignesh, for giving this opportunity. Over to you.
எஸ் சார் எஸ் சார் தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார். ஆக்சுவலி நாங்கள் தான் வந்து ரொம்ப ப்ளஷர் பண்ணியிருக்கிறோம். பிகாஸ் எனக்கும் வந்து ரொம்ப நாளாக ஒரு சின்ன ஐடியா இருந்தது சார். ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் எப்படியாவது டெவலப் பண்ணி கொண்டு வரணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிற ஒரு ஐடியா வந்து இருந்தது. பட் ஆனால் எந்த இடத்துல லேக் ஆகுதுன்னா, ஆரம்பத்துலேருந்தே லேக் ஆகிட்டு தான் இருக்கு. ஒரு ஐடியா வரணும், அது இனோவேட்டிவாக இருக்கணும். ஸோ எவ்வளோ ஷேர் பண்ணாலும் வந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு ஐடியா வந்து அதை சும்மா லைட்டாக அதை தட்டினாலே வந்து எத்தனையோ வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி அதை யாரோ பண்ணி வச்சிடுறாங்க. ஸோ அந்த அந்த டிஃபிகல்ட்டிஸ்லேருந்தே நான் இன்னும் வரவே இல்லை. ஸோ எஸ் சார், நீங்க சீரீஸ் ஆஃப் செஷன் எடுக்கணும்னு சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க. இட்ஸ் யூ ஆர் ஆல்வேஸ் வெல்கம் சார். பிகாஸ் இந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு நாலேஜ் வந்து எல்லாருக்குமே வந்து கொடுத்தே ஆகணும். ஸோ யூ ஆல்வேஸ் வெல்கம். ஆடியன்ஸ் லாஸ்டா என்ன கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேட்கணுமா சார்? கமெண்ட் செக்ஷன்ல உங்க நம்பர் ஷேர் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு கொஞ்சம் கேட்டிருக்காங்க.
ஷூர் சார், ஷூர். ஒரே நிமிஷம். And one more thing, guys, one more thing. This is something which is very required. Every business strategy or every innovative idea needs, today's scenario needs a online presence. இது பத்தியும் வந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு நம்மளுக்கு a good or time கிடைச்சதுன்னா we will again talk about this online presence, taking your business to online. This is again a very good topic. So we have a lot to talk. So yes, Vignesh, over to you, because there is a lot of ideas to share. Yes, man. Any questions?
Yes sir, okay sir.
It's not audible. Somebody is asking something.
Audience, if you want to ask any questions, please unmute your mic.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes,
You said you have solutions.
Yes.
For business problems. How do we connect with you and take it forward?
I have shared my number, I have shared my number, and if you want to write it to me, I'll share my email ID also. Just a moment.
Yeah.
Right. So this is my mail ID. Just connect with me, and if you have any queries, anything, okay. Just a moment. Right.
I neither got your number nor your mail ID.
So sorry, ma. Actually, this was set for Vignesh only. Personal mail.
Okay.
This is my number, and this is my mail ID.
Okay.
This is my mail ID. Just connect with me, and whatever you have queries about taking it to online or a business solution or being innovative, if you're stuck somewhere. And see, basically, for me and for everyone, having a mentor is important. Even I have a lot of mentors where I consult, where I derive the ideas from, because that's very necessary to keep on learning. And learning should not stop until unless you learn. You can be innovative more, you can progress more, you can grow more, right? And we can grow together. That's the beauty of connecting with these platforms. Like, they give us an opportunity to grow together, right?
Great, great. Yep. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Vignesh, any other
Yes,
questions?
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Audience, if you have any questions, still we have a time, so you can ask. Sir வந்து ஒரு நம்பரை ஷேர் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. ஸோ இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் எனி ஆஸ்க் எனி கொஸ்டின்ஸ் சார் டைரக்டாவே காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அண்ட்
Sure.
சார் கண்டிப்பா சார் அந்த சீரீஸ் ஆஃப் வெபினார்ஸ் வந்து நீங்க கண்டக்ட் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லி என்னோட சார்பாவோ எங்க டீம் சார்பாவோ நானே வந்து விஷ் கொடுக்குறேன். அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vignesh.
தேங்க்யூ சார். தேங்க்யூ சார். ஆடியன்ஸ், இப்போ எங்க லெட்ஸ் டாக் லெட்ஸ் கனெக்ட பத்தி நீங்க என்ன கொஞ்சம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா எங்க வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்பான லிங்க் வந்து கமெண்ட் பாக்ஸ் வந்து போஸ்ட் பண்ணிருக்கேன். ஸோ அதுல வந்து நீங்க ஏதாவது செஷன் நாங்க எடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னா அந்த ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் லிங்க்ல வந்து ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஸோ அந்த நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு அந்த செஷன் ஸ்லாட்டை வந்து நாங்க கொடுப்போம். ஸோ இல்லைன்னா இந்த செஷனை வந்து நாங்க கவனிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா அதுக்கான ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் லிங்க்கையும் வந்து நாங்க கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஸோ அந்த செஷன் நீங்க எந்த செஷனை கவனிக்கணும்னாலும் வந்து அந்த லிங்க்ல வந்து நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் திஸ் வண்டர்ஃபுல் ஈவினிங் சார். இந்த நிறைய நாலேஜ் வந்து கெயின் பண்ணிக்கிட்டோம். அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ ஆடியன்ஸ். யாருக்காவது ஏதாவது லாஸ்டா கேட்கணும் அப்படின்னா கேட்கலாம், இல்லைன்னா வைண்ட் அப் பண்ணிக்கிறதா வைண்ட் அப் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஓகே சார். ஓகே சார்.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
எஸ் சார். தேங்க்யூ சார்.